Hi everyone, just going to do a signature design from scratch just to show you the process and what goes into designing a signature or a clan banner design. Now if I go to the forums, I'm going to be making one for Irvin. There's his name he wants on. He will like a level 6 wizard and a champion league badge. Subtext, that's his clan, a theme, something to fit the wizard. So let's get started. Go to Photoshop. I'm using CS6. I'll just close this. Start from scratch. So Command N if you're on a Mac, or Control N for a new document. 500 width, 100 pixels height. I work at 300 pixel per inch, but you can work at 72. It doesn't really matter. But I like to work at 300. So just hit OK, and here we have our canvas. Now in Photoshop, what I like to do is double click the background to unlock. See the wee padlock? I like to unlock it. Now it's gone. Now first things first, the render. It's always important, put the render in first for placement and just to decide where to place it and colouring, etc. So in Photoshop I like to use the place command. So go to File, Place. Now you find my render, Files, Documents, Design, CFC, Troops. Everything's nicely categorized in the folder. Where's W for wizard? Now, so a few wizards I have. Let's see. I'm going to use this one. Now, it looks very small, but why that is, this is a smart object. So if I hold down Shift and drag the angle, it keeps it all nicely in proportion. Oh, see, I let go of Shift too soon. Hit Enter to place it. Now he looks a wee bit stretched, so I'm going to do that again. So delete, File, Place, select your render or your character, place, hold Shift and drag. Now let's place him. I say there. You can either hit the wee button, the wee tick button up here, or I just hit Enter. I like to use the keyboard shortcuts. Now this is a smart object, so you can't actually paint on this unless you rasterize it. But I don't like to rasterize it. What I'm going to do is put a layer mask on. So down here is a layer mask. Now I can paint in this. Now what this does, this hides or adds certain areas of the picture. What I like to do, I want to delete the flame and the arm, so it's just here. So with a blunt brush, let's go for a soft brush. Black, because black hides. Now with the bracket keys you can amend the size, increase. Now if I just do that there it goes. It's not actually deleting it, it's just hiding it. Because if I want to bring it back, I can just change it to white and brings it back. If you use the eraser key, once you delete it, that's it gone. So this is a way of non-destructive editing. So change it back to black and delete it. Or hide it, sorry. There we go. And that's that bit done. Now what I'm going to do is Command J or Control J to duplicate this layer. And there you go. Same copy one. I'm actually going to delete. Select the layer mask. Delete layer mask. So it's just the flame again. The character. Command T is transform. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use various copies of this to make the background. Same again, just move it about. Hit Enter, there we go. Command J to copy it again, and Command T to transform the new copy. Bring this one over a wee bit. You don't want to be neat about it, just whack them in there. I don't want the grass showing. Again, Command J, T. I'm just going to rotate a wee bit, get some different color aspects in. Command J again and T. There we go. And just repeat it till the whole canvas is covered. There's no white bit showing. Okay, just move it across a wee bit. There we go. Now if I bring my render to the top, here's my character, and all these here are my background. So what you do, select them all, right click, pardon me, merge layers. Now it's all into one layer, as you can see. And this is a rasterized layer, so that means I can edit this layer. So go to your smudge tool, get a nice smudge brush. As you can see, these are all my brushes. Where's my smudge brush? I like to use. You can get this downloaded from DeviantArt. I'm going to use this. Just slow down the strength. Don't want it too strong. See, too strong. When you do it too strong, it kind of blurs all the colours into one. You don't want that. You want a wee bit of texture. The brush is a wee bit too big. So just give it a wee quick once over. Smudge it all in. Give it some texture. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to take the render image again, the character, Command J. If I hide this one, I'm going to change this one to linear dodge. That's a blending mode. So what I'm going to do is smudge again. But this time I'm going to smudge it a wee tiny bit. So same brush. Okay. That's what we have to rasterize. Now I'm going to apply the layer mask. So here we go. And it's way too big, so just want a wee tiny brush. And then this doing the outside. Because what this is, when I bring in the next layer, it gives a nice wee outer glow. See that there? I'm going to do it again. So pick your render layer, Command J, hide your image. Now this one I am going to put it to color dodge. And same again. Right click, rasterize layer, right click, apply layer mask, and there we go. Now we're doing this one. Just increase the strength a wee bit. This time what I'm going to click and drag, push it out. Now it's not doing much because I don't want it to do it too much. Just want to nicely, gradually focus it in. Okay. Okay. So the smudge layer, it's a wee bit brown looking, so I don't like the colour of it. So I'm actually going to change that. So I'm going to add in an adjustment layer. Let's see, a gradient. Not a gradient map, no. We'll do hue and saturation. So select hue saturation. I'm actually going to hit Alt and apply only to this layer. This is called the clipping mask. Okay, so select colorize, and here we go. Now select a nice color that's going to fit the theme. It's a nice wee blue there. It's not too dark. Okay, that's not too bad. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a bit more texture to the background. So new layer, B for brush, shortcut for brush is B. I think I'll go for an abstract look. So here's my abstract brushes here. Now when I press D, at the moment my colour is set to white, background set to blue. I want to change that. So hit D and I'll default it to black and white. If we press X, it'll circle between them. So I want white, so I'm going to hit X. And just gradually just put your brush, don't always use the same brush, mix between them. I'm using the arrow keys to circulate between the brushes. It's a wee shortcut. So that's in a wee abstract, but it's not blending. I don't like that blend. So what you can do, you can hold shift and using the brackets key you can cycle through the color modes. Darken, don't want to be using darken. Sorry. Let's see, overlay. Let's see what overlay looks like. That's not too bad. Soft light, no, it's too grey. Okay, we'll use overlay. And just bring the opacity down just a wee hair. Okay, there we go. Okay, it's time for shadows. So new layer, select your brush, select, make sure it's black for the foreground color. So hit X to swap that color. Now using a nice big soft brush, I'm just going to do some shadowing. So just around the edges, as you can see, and just darkening it up a wee bit. And change this to soft light. So this gives a wee bit of a shadow. Now we need our light source. So new layer again. Light source is going to be white. So hit X to transfer your color. There we go, have X. With the same brush, just going to make it a wee bit smaller. Create your light source. So there's my light source. Select overlay. No, pardon. Soft light. No. Overlay. Overlay looks best. Now, this is behind the render, which I don't want. I want this in front. Okay. Let me just see how the shadows look. See, no. Don't like it in front, I don't want it behind. Okay. You also want a champion badge, so we need to bring in that render. So file place again. Find my clan shield. Files, documents, design, clash, build using textures. Here's the Champion League badge. It's a PNG file, so there's no background. See, that's way too big. Don't want it to be too big. So hold shift and drag. See, you don't want to be doing that. No, you don't want to be stretching. You want to keep it all nice in proportion. Now just find a good place where it blends in. Apologies, that's the hard drive. I don't think I like it there. It's not going to blend in nicely, is it? If that's what he wants, that's what he's going to get. Okay, I think it's going to be best there. Maybe increase the size, so Command P, share, hit enter, and just move it into place. Now, right click, rasterize, so I can edit this layer. If you want to desaturate it, make it black and white. So image, adjustments, desaturate, makes it black and white. Now what I could do, I could drag that layer below the color saturation, which makes it the same color. Now it's still a wee bit too dark looking, so Command L for levels. So here's your black, your greys, and your whites. Now I don't want it too dark, so I want to bring the black down a wee bit. No, I want to bring the white up a bit, sorry. You just gradually bring it up, just starts to edit, not too much, just about there. Hit OK. Now I'm going to zoom in. It's got very sharp edges, as you can see, it doesn't blend. So what I'm going to do is use my blur tool. I have a nice soft brush, 100% strength. Let's go around the sides and just blur it in. And what this will do, you'll just take away the sharpness, so it doesn't look like it's just sitting there. Just zoom back out. There's the Champion League badge added. Now for the text. Let's see what he would like. He would like Irvine. So that's his name. Okay, so top of the layer. Press T. Shortcut for text layer. His name is Irvine. So I type it first, select all, and then select your font. Cycle through them, see what pops up. Let's see. You can use a standard font, or you could use a customized font. I have one that I like. There we go. Now placement. Okay. Looks a wee bit spaced, the letters, see a wee bit space between each other. Oh, see, it's set to 100 spacing. If I set that to 0, which is default, there we have it. A bit more condensed. Right there. This next text layer, you would like GFX designer, so I can just copy paste, Command C on Photoshop, select your text button, and Command V. Now this layer, I'm going to make it a small font. This is going to be a pixel font or bitmap font. So select your font. This one's a pixel mix. For best results, this font is best at 8 pixels or a multiple of 8. So you can have 8, 16, 24, etc. But as long as it has to be a multiple of 8. So select 8 pixels. And anti-aliasing, you don't want any, so none. See, it makes it nice and sharp and clear. Now it looks a wee bit weird because this bit here are lowercase letters, so what I'm going to do is make them all uppercase. So in your text, Two T's makes everything all caps. So just hit that. There you go. Changes the characters to all caps. Now placement. Let's see. I like to place it like that. That's nice and lined there, so it is. And again, I'm going to create another text layer. I'm going to add my watermark, which is simple SSFX. Same again, same font as the last time. I'm just going to place it up here. Okay, I believe he would like his clan name, Sparkmans. So Command V. What I'm actually going to do, I'm going to make this part of the Irvine text. So if I select the Irvine text layer, space. That's way too big. So it's going to bring down the delete that bit. Bring it across. So there we go. Now I'm going to do some effects on the text. So go down here, select FX. Now we're going to try. First of all, I like to add a wee drop shadow. Just give a wee bit of depth to it. And it's too far, so I'm going to bring the distance down a wee bit. Okay. I'm going to put a gradient overlay on it. Then set the black and white. I'm going to select this color here, this black. Select here. I'm going to select a blue from the image. There we go. That looks nice. What I'm going to do now, I'll see if I can add a wee stroke. Now with strokes, I like to do them at 1 pixel, just nice, thin. Now I might do a wee darker blue. There we go. Probably go a wee bit darker. There. Did okay. And there we go. There's the text done. Obviously you can go a wee bit further. Now that's a wee bit too far, so I'm going to bring that down. As is. Bring that up because I don't want it too squished. Okay, next thing I'm going to add a border. So new layer. Now with your pencil, not the brush, the pencil, well, make sure it's 1 pixel. Now what I do is zoom in, make sure it's black, not white. So hit X to change your color. When you're holding down Shift, hold Shift, and it'll be a straight line, so you can't make a mistake. So it's straight line all the way around. So click and hold Shift and just drag it. You'll get nice straight lines without making a mistake. So zoom back out to 100%. There we go. I'm going to add a wee bit of gradient map. So adjustment layer, you can use it down here, or you can use it up the panel. So I'm going to use the panel. So gradient map, black and white. I don't want to use that. I want to use purple and orange. Select OK. Now what I want to do is select soft light. Gives that nice warm effect, so it does. So take that off. I'll show you without it. There it is, without. Or there it is with. This gives a bit more depth to it. Nice, probably a bit too strong. .65%. That's okay. I'm going to add a wee bit of opacity. Sorry, a photo filter. So select photo filter up here, or you can select it down here. I'll select it down here for this one. Photo filter. Now I don't want a warming filter. Warm makes it give like it adds a wee bit of orange to make it more warm looking. That's what I call it, warming filter. But I want a cooling filter. Gives a wee blue to it. Nice, a wee bit too strong. I'm gonna give it there. And there we have it. There's a signature all designed from scratch. Now what I'm gonna do is go to, obviously with file save, but I'm gonna save the image. So file, save for web. I'm gonna save it as PNG 24. This is the fully optimized, but as you can see here, it's 105.3 gigabytes. It's just too big. I need it below 100. So what you can do, you can untick transparency. Doesn't change it, so tick it back on. Untick interlaced. There we go. It's brought it down to 93.55. So I'm going to hit save. Save it as irvine.png. And there we go. Completed. Thank you for watching. I hope you like it. Thank you. Bye bye.